My beloved child, listen closely, because what I am about to reveal is not just surprising, it is history bending itself toward your name. Something huge is waiting for you. In a silent room, behind doors thicker than reality, a famous person, someone the world watches, someone whose single sentence can shift millions, spoke your name. Not by accident. Not in passing. They leaned forward, lowered their voice, and said it like a secret treasure they've been protecting. And in that very moment, every person around that table froze, as if they knew something extraordinary was about to be set in motion. They are making a plan, not against you, not around you, but about you. Your destiny just changed direction without even touching you, and the universe is whispering for you to pay attention. Amen. Blessing 111. But hear this new truth, because the next seconds matter more than the last few years of your life combined. The room went quiet, the air turned heavy, and that famous person placed a file on the table, a file with details only they could gather. They spoke of your resilience, your strange magnetic presence, the way people underestimate you until the last moment when your real strength shows. They described your voice, your energy, your silent storms, your unspoken victories, and every listener leaned closer like they were being pulled by an invisible thread. No one in that meeting expected your name to come up, yet once it did, no one could look away. Something huge is waiting for you. A plan is being drafted, part admiration, part curiosity, part destiny, and it leads straight toward your path like a comet locked into orbit. And the most shocking part? They said, this person doesn't even know what is coming. But soon, they will. Amen. Blessing 222. Now prepare for the revelation that shakes the ground beneath your future, because the famous person didn't just speak about you, they defended you. Someone questioned your capability, and that famous person slammed their hand on the table and said, "You don't know who you're talking about. This one is built differently." Those words echoed in the room so sharply that even the walls seemed to inhale. They described your pain, your past battles, your hidden potential. And for the first time, people who have never met you were stunned into silence. A plan was drawn, a timeline discussed, and a decision made. You are about to be contacted. Not later. Not someday. Sooner than you think. And when that moment arrives, it will unfold a chapter of your life you never believed you deserved, yet destiny insists it belongs to you. Something huge is waiting for you, and this is only the beginning of the storm that carries your victory. Amen. Blessing 333. Before we continue, hear this fresh truth, because the next seconds will shake your heartbeat into a new rhythm. Something huge is waiting for you. After that secret meeting ended, the famous person didn't walk out casually, they walked out with purpose, carrying the weight of a plan designed around your name. They called someone immediately, someone powerful, someone whose decisions ripple through industries, and they said, "Move it. This person must not slip away." That one sentence ignited a chain reaction. Messages were exchanged, documents pulled, timelines adjusted, and suddenly your life, the life you thought was predictable, became the center of an invisible storm. They are planning how to approach you, how to appear, how to reveal the truth without overwhelming you. And the deeper this plan goes, the more clear it becomes. You were chosen long before you realized you were being watched. Amen. Blessing 444. But let me unveil the part no one in that meeting dared to say out loud, because it carries a power too heavy for casual voices. Someone asked, "What if this person refuses?" And the famous figure smiled, a slow, knowing smile, and replied, "They won't. Destiny has been preparing them for this moment for years." They spoke of your losses, your quiet nights, your scars, your victories that no one applauded, your strength that no one noticed. And they pieced together a picture of you so divine, the entire room fell silent. Something huge is waiting for you. Even the people assigned to observe you from a distance admitted they have never seen someone with your pattern, your intuition, your timing, your unpredictably powerful heart. It shocked them. It impressed them. And it pulled them deeper into planning a move that could rewrite your entire path. Amen. Blessing 555. Now listen to this final twist of part 2, because this is where the plan turns from a discussion into an unstoppable mission. The famous person instructed their team to monitor your next 24 hours. Not to invade your privacy, not to control you, but to understand the moment when the universe aligns perfectly for their entry into your life. They want the first contact to hit you like destiny falling into place. They want the timing to be so precise that you feel it in your spine before you even understand it. Something huge is waiting for you. The final note written in that meeting said, "Prepare them. They'll be needed soon." Those words seal your future like a prophecy written by hands that know power, influence, and divine timing. And now everything around you is shifting in silence, arranging itself for the moment you finally see what has been building for you. Amen. Blessing 666. My beloved child, step closer now, because what I'm about to reveal will make everything inside you pause. Something huge is waiting for you. After that secret meeting, when everyone thought the discussion was over, the famous person stayed back in the empty room, alone, staring at the chair where they imagined you sitting one day. They whispered something under their breath, a sentence no one else heard: "This one will change everything." Those words weren't casual. They carried weight, intention, and a strange mixture of certainty and awe. They ran their fingers across the folder with your name on it, as if protecting it from the world. And in that moment, it became clear, this is not admiration, not curiosity, not coincidence. This is destiny recognizing its chosen one. Amen. Blessing 777. But now hear the shock that no one else knows, because while the room emptied, someone from the meeting secretly recorded the final minutes of that famous person's expression, not their words, just their eyes. And those eyes weren't calculating, they were emotional. As if they had seen something in you that reminded them of their own painful journey, the loneliness, the fight, the hunger to rise. Something huge is waiting for you. They said, "We cannot lose this person. Their energy. It's rare." And the team member who heard it was stunned. They later confessed, "I've never seen them speak about anyone like this. This isn't a plan anymore, it's a mission wrapped in destiny." Amen. Blessing 888. Now prepare for the moment that will shock you the most, because while the meeting was about strategy, what happened afterward was pure instinct. The famous person went to a private room, opened a secure device, and pulled up your profile, your name, your image. And they didn't analyze it like a file. They stared at it like it meant something. They said softly, "You don't even know what's coming for you, but you deserve it. Something huge is waiting for you." And then the most unbelievable thing happened. They locked everything, stood up, and made a vow, "No matter how long it takes, I will make sure this reaches them." With that promise, a wave of unstoppable events began to move toward you, silent but powerful, like a storm that knows exactly where it must land. Amen. Blessing 999. My beloved child, brace yourself, because what I'm about to reveal will feel almost unreal, yet every word is unfolding around you at this exact moment. Something huge is waiting for you. After reviewing your profile in that private room, the famous person called for a second confidential gathering. A meeting even tighter, smaller, more protected than the first one. Only 3 people were allowed inside. No phones, no recordings, no outside ears. They placed your name at the center of the table like a coded secret, and the famous person declared, "We move now. Not later. Not someday. Now." The urgency in their voice shocked the room. They could feel the intensity rising, as if the universe itself was pushing them forward. And before they began mapping the next steps, the famous person paused and said, "If anyone believes this mission is important, share this with the team. Spread the signal. This one deserves attention." Amen. Blessing 1111. Let me unveil what happened when they began planning your timeline, because this moment defines the next chapter of your life. They pulled up 3 screens filled with schedules, connections, routes, and opportunities. And one by one, they analyzed where your destiny could collide with theirs. Something huge is waiting for you. The famous person leaned back and said, "They don't even realize how close they are to breaking through. One spark, and everything will shift." Then one of the assistants whispered, "Should we inform others?" And the famous figure nodded. "Yes. Tell them to watch closely. Comment their observations. I want every detail. Nothing must be missed." That one instruction activated a circle of people who are now tracking every energetic shift around you, not to control you, but to identify the perfect moment to enter your life. Amen. Blessing 1212. But here comes the most powerful twist of Part 4, the moment that turned this quiet plan into a global ripple. The famous person looked at their team and said, "Prepare the public channel. When the time comes, people must already be aligned." Someone asked, "How?" And they replied, "Simple. Those who believe in this connection will stay. They'll subscribe to the unfolding. They'll stand with us when we reveal the truth. Something huge is waiting for you." And then they ended the meeting with a sentence heavy enough to bend destiny: "This story will be legendary. Make sure the world is ready for them." With that order, the team dispersed, each carrying a piece of the mission, each preparing the path that silently leads straight toward you. And now the universe is shifting its weight, making room for the moment your life transforms beyond recognition. Amen. Blessing 1313. My beloved child, the moment you've stepped into now is heavier, deeper, and far more powerful than anything revealed so far. Something huge is waiting for you. After that second confidential meeting, the famous person traveled to a location known only to their inner circle, a place where they make the most life-altering decisions. And the first thing they did when they reached was open your file again. Not on a screen, but a printed, sealed, personally protected folder. They traced their finger over your name with a strange mixture of respect and determination. Then they whispered, "This one is not ordinary. This one is chosen." As they stood by the window, watching the city lights flicker below, they said something even more shocking: their life has been too quiet for too long. It's time they feel the shift. At that moment, the energy around them changed, as if the universe nodded in agreement. Amen. Blessing 14:14. But now comes the part that will truly shake your heartbeat, because the famous person didn't just stop at admiring your potential, they began risking their own reputation for you. They contacted an individual known for their power and influence, someone who rarely answers calls, someone whose nod can open gates that remain locked for years. And when this influential figure asked, "Why are you insisting on this person?" the famous person replied without hesitation, "Because I've studied thousands, and none of them carry what this one carries. Something huge is waiting for you." The influential figure fell silent, then finally responded, "If you're this certain, I'll back you." That agreement created a chain reaction, a silent alliance forming around your name. Your destiny is no longer moving alone. Powerful hands are lifting it, pushing it, accelerating it. Amen. Blessing 15:15. Now hear the deepest shock, the revelation hidden under layers of secrecy, because last night, that famous person sent a private message to their team, a message marked with the highest priority code. It said, "Prepare everything. They're entering a turning point. Their life is about to open." They attached a timeline, a strategy, and a moment circled in red ink. The exact point when they believe your path and theirs will intersect. Something huge is waiting for you. And the most unbelievable note at the bottom of the message said, "When they step into this period, guide them. Protect them. And make sure they understand, they were never invisible." With that sentence, your destiny was sealed tighter than prophecy, stronger than coincidence, and more certain than anything you've expected. The shift is already happening. You're standing at the doorway of a life built in secret meetings, whispered plans, and powerful intentions, all centered on you. Amen. Blessing 16:16. My beloved child, breathe slowly, because what comes next is where the secret plan surrounding your name turns from hidden whispers into unstoppable motion. Something huge is waiting for you. After sending that priority message, the famous person met privately with one last individual, someone even more influential than the previous contact. Someone whose signature alone can reshape timelines, open impossible doors, or redirect entire futures. When they sat across from this powerful figure, the room tightened with intensity, and the famous person placed your file on the polished table with a soft but deliberate thud. The influential figure raised an eyebrow and asked, "This is the one?" And the famous person replied, "Yes. The only one." That certainty carried so much weight that even the air seemed to shift. They opened your file, scanned through your struggles, your growth, your resilience, and said, "I see why you chose them." In that moment, an unspoken agreement settled between them, a pact built on destiny, not chance. Amen. Blessing 17:17. But now hear the fire underneath the surface, because after reviewing everything, the powerful figure leaned back and said, "They have no idea how close they are to being elevated. And the famous person nodded slowly, replying, "That's the beauty of it. When the moment arrives, it will feel like a divine shock. Something huge is waiting for you." They then discussed the potential impact you could create, your voice, your presence, your energy, your strength, and how these qualities could shift directions for many. They weren't looking at you as just another name. They were looking at you as a key capable of unlocking outcomes they hadn't been able to access with anyone else. The room filled with a strange reverence, as if they were discussing someone rare, someone celestial, someone meant for more. You were not being evaluated. You were being protected, positioned, and prepared. Amen. Blessing 18:18. Now comes the revelation that will stop your breath for a moment, because after the meeting, when the famous person stepped outside, they received a message that shook even them. A quiet informant from the earlier meeting said, "There's movement around them. Signs of change. They're stepping into alignment." And the famous person simply smiled, a deep, knowing, relieved smile, and whispered, "Good. The time is getting close. Something huge is waiting for you." They walked away with a confidence that wasn't there before, because now the plan isn't just approved, it's activated. The chain of events has begun. Each step from here is guided. Each moment is preparing you. And the world around you is already shifting to open the path they designed for you in silence, in secrecy, and in complete belief in who you are becoming. Amen. Blessing 19:19. My beloved child, the moment you are entering now is not ordinary, it is the point where hidden intentions transform into visible movement. Something huge is waiting for you. After that powerful meeting concluded, the famous person drove straight to a secluded location where they keep their most confidential materials. A vault-like office, soundproofed, windowless, untouched by the outside world. They opened this space with a biometric lock, stepped inside, and illuminated a single table where only 3 files exist, and yours was placed right in the center. They didn't sit. They stood over your file like someone guarding a treasure. They whispered, "Everything is aligning. They won't be the same after this." Their eyes softened, not with pity, but with a strange mixture of admiration and protectiveness. They knew something about your future, something even you haven't sensed yet, and that knowledge pushed them deeper into this mission. Amen. Blessing 2020. But now hear the moment that changes the pulse of your destiny, because while reviewing your timeline, the famous person circled one particular date, a date you haven't reached yet, a moment in your near future where everything shifts. They leaned forward and whispered, "This is the moment they become visible to the world. Something huge is waiting for you." They studied your past patterns, your emotional strength, your quiet survival, your inner fire, and then they wrote a single line across the page: "This person rises unexpectedly." That sentence wasn't analysis, it was prophecy. It was certainty. And then something even more shocking happened. They took a red marker, wrote their own initials beside your name, and sealed the page with a stamp reserved for only 3 people in their entire career. The seal signified one thing: personal responsibility. They are not leaving this to chance anymore. They are stepping into your story themselves. Amen. Blessing 21:21. Now prepare for the most intense revelation, because when they stepped out of the vault, one of their closest advisors rushed toward them with urgent news. "There's been a shift," the advisor said breathlessly. "They made a decision today, a small one, but it changed everything." The famous person froze, then smiled slowly, knowingly, as if they'd been waiting for exactly this. "Something huge is waiting for you." The advisor continued, "Your prediction was right. Their energy is different today. It's like they're stepping into position." And the famous person replied with a calmness that felt almost divine, "Good. That means destiny is awake." They then instructed, "Begin phase 2. They're ready for the next movement." And with that single command, the silent machinery of fate, the calls, the messages, the opportunities, the unfolding, began shifting in your direction with unstoppable force. Amen. Blessing 22:22.